I accidentally started a bit of Twitter controversy. There have been a couple of tweets that have popped up related to my videos, and I want to check them out to see what they're all about. The first one is probably the most blatant one. In new video, Coconut argues pubs are harder than comp because no restrictions. All I can say is even the best blights get outed by good teams in tournaments, including Momo, who is on a 1.7 pub 4K streak, who got 2-man outed last time I saw him in a tourney. This particular video sparked a bit of controversy even in my Discord. The purpose of this video, Competitive is Harder, is to spark a discussion related to a deeper meaning reliant around how regular Dead by Daylight is played. I recently interviewed a Singularity who holds survivors hostage for 60 minutes, and he told me,
they changed how the MMR works very recently, and ever since that happened, my games have been so much better. I've lost a lot more since UMR. Because if I make a mistake, I'm more likely to be playing against a team in comms, and I get punished so much more often now than I used to.
His games are getting progressively harder and harder and harder, and Behavior seems to have implemented a system that makes it so he actually starts losing more. I watched a video from AltStar related to his win streaks.
Challenges such as the 50-win series or other things like that, I think I'm also going to drop, at least temporarily. This game is not in a good spot for this. As you guys know, they changed the MMR recently, which means that you're going to go against more and more difficult opponents if you keep winning your games. And that would be fine, but every now and then I have just horrible experiences. At the end of the game, I have him pinned against the edge of the map. It turned out it was a cheater.
He's starting to get cheaters. He's starting to get survivors that basically have never really lost. And the matches are getting a little crazy. This new system seems to be implemented as an anti-win streak mechanism. The more games you win, the harder survivors you face. Combine that with my experience. I'm getting a couple competitive teams myself. Yes, pubs don't have perk restrictions. They have killer add-on restrictions. You don't play certain maps. But ultimately, every single player playing Dead by Daylight's matchmaking system are getting harder and harder games, driving the point home that Behavior's matchmaking system is making Dead by Daylight feel like a pseudo-competitive matchmaking system. With Dead by Daylight being a casual game, it feels a little counterintuitive to be designing your matchmaking system as a competitive one. And I'm beating a dead horse over and over again, explaining this topic in so many videos to Behavior because of their stubbornness to stick with a system that's fundamentally a paradox. Games are getting harder and harder for all players. The main game mode plays like a pseudo-competitive matchmaking system. But when we look at actual competitive, there are perk restrictions, map restrictions, add-on restrictions, item restrictions. But why? Because without those restrictions, it wouldn't be fair. It would be too hard to win as killer. This is why survivors are generally required to run all unique perks so that everyone doesn't run 4 dead hards, 4 hopes, 4 unbreakables, and 4 adrenalines every single match. It would be boring. And the paradox comes in is that Behavior's been pushing this system in a competitive direction with this sort of unrestricted rule set without taking into account that competitive itself forces players to restrict themselves in order to make tournaments more fun. Fun to watch, fun to play. These rules are the reason why competitive even exists in the first place. So why design a system that plays competitively without these rules? Your main mode becomes the opposite of what competitive DBD is for those that enjoy it. Not fun to play. Matches feel unfair because people stack a bunch of broken stuff all together that even the competitive scene don't subject their player base to. As people play this game more casually and normally, matches are getting harder and harder. And sometimes it feels like there's almost no MMR cap in the players that I'm getting in the matchmaking system. I even get like back-to-back competitive teams in the skill-based matchmaking system. Yes, not all competitive players play pubs to destroy regular newbies in a hollow victory sweatfest. And I know there exists this 200-member Discord server made by ex-competitive players whose sole purpose is to play pubs and grind killers into the most amount of blood points as humanly possible every single match. 200 players. But that's not even my point. That's not what I'm referring to. What my video is referring to is the paradox between making a competitive environment and a casual game with MMR in Behavior's main game mode. It doesn't really make sense when all the pieces are put together. This is why I have the controversial opinion to just bring rank-based matchmaking back. Then I get the comments that rank-based matchmaking is not fair. Behavior did their skill-based matchmaking tests and people didn't find it fun. Well, those tests didn't take into account the dopaminergic response to players winning matches and seeing their rank visibly rank up. The SBMM tests hid the ranks. The rank-based matchmaking showed ranks. Ooh, look, I'm rank 20. I ranked up to rank 15. I ranked up to rank 7. I see myself progressing and climbing this ladder. My performance actually matters and I can visibly see it in my games. And every single month, it resets and goes back to 20. And my grade, my rank, whatever, actually feels like it's meaningful because in the end screen, I can visibly see the impact of my performance after every single match I play. It also gives me a reason to keep coming back every month, to run the hamster wheel again.
What do you think happens if you put mouse wheels out in the forest?
I would imagine that mice would not use it.
They do.
They do?
They love it. It has nothing to do with needing an outlet. It's just that they love doing it. Wheels that have just been put out in a forest. And like wild mice who have the entire world to run in are still like, oh, hey! And I think that's us too. We look at these wheels and we think wheels in cages. That's what the internet is. We love running on wheels. That's what it is. We love gossip, and it's not just the internet that caused it. We've always loved it.
To go back from rank 20 to rank 1. I'm not saying we should show MMR numbers. I'm just comparing the two systems that we have. Yes, rank-based matchmaking was a little bit unfair, and new players used to get slaughtered a lot, whether playing Killer or Survivor. But every single season, you can decide how far you want to rank up, or if you want to keep your rank really low every month, to have more chill games, or to rank up really fast every month to get really sweaty games. You got to variate your gameplay experience with rank-based matchmaking based off how fast you ranked up. Right now, at least for the veterans, matches feel like sweat, 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 sweat. And while in the past, I feel like playing casually. Let's rank up slowly. I feel like playing sweaty. Let's rank up really fast and face other people who are sweating to rank up really fast. Along with getting a visual reward of ranking up, even if it wasn't correlative to skill or not. There's a reason why League of Legends, Counter-Strike all use these visible ranking systems, because it makes every single match feel like it means something. People don't really care about facing others that are the best of the best. It's even proven with this system, people don't even care about being the highest MMR. Otherwise, you'd probably be seeing YouTube videos of high MMR survivors, high MMR, high MMR. People like to pretend that they're the best. It's like, oh, I'm rank 1. Oh, rank doesn't mean anything right now. Well, doesn't matter. I'm going against other rank 1 players, and we're all technically the highest rank, pretending that we're quote-unquote good. And that is basically what this video is all about. A fundamental paradox correlative to the way that behavior is designing their game and how their game plays out, correlative to their skill-based matchmaking system. I believe Dead by Daylight's a casual game that should be played casually. And I also believe their main game mode matchmaking system should also not play competitively. These are just my opinions. And I hope this cleared up some confusion related to this piece that I wanted to make a script on, but I decided not to, just in case the lights out game mode completely changed everything to the point where I would not have been able to talk about this, as I saw lights out as potentially a point of no return if behavior executed this modifier appropriately. And now I know that statement might actually cause some controversy now, so I'll clear that up too. It seems like behavior may be using game modes to be the casual version of Dead by Daylight as a separate mode, and to have their main game mode play like a pseudo-competitive version. In a way, this is like having a rank-based competitive-like queue and a casual, chill-like queue in the form of modifiers or potential game modes. In a world where behavior is thinking that, they'd be committing to not change their matchmaking system at all. And this type of discussion would have been pointless if that was the case. But I guess it seems it's not. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope I cleared up everything. Peace.